I am in the Arcata Community Forest, and towering above me is an approximately 20-foot tall old-growth redwood stump lined with a series of intricate, artistically crafted wood carvings along its length. But whoever carved these sculptures over 50 years ago remains a mystery to this day. And no one knows exactly when they were carved. Best guesses locally are in the late 1960s, perhaps into the early 1970s. Oh, and there's other curiosities about these wood carvings. And today, I am going to be meeting with a few folks who just might be able to shed a little insight into the mysterious wood carvings in the Arcata Community Forest, right here on Humboldt Outdoors. What do you think, Jake? We're going to be able to get some good footage up there?
I can try. It's a tight fit.
Jake is taking some drone footage of this sculpture throughout its entire length because some of the areas you just can't see real clearly from down here on the ground.
I think I got something here.
Oh, what is that? Wait. Can you go in closer? Go in closer.
It looks like a helmet.
Sort of like the Corinthian style that the ancient Greek soldiers used to wear. What is that about? Wait, go around. They're looking at each other.
Why are they here?
Wow. It must have taken them hours to carve the detail on this.
If not days or weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of effort went into this.
Can you go in a little tighter on the deer and get the rest of the sculpture shot?
Yeah.
Jake and I are going to take some of this footage to a local wood carving artist named Zach, and Zach is going to look it over and tell us what he thinks.
Wow.
Look at that, the deer and the bear. Oh, okay, one thing I really want to make clear before we move on with this story, and that is any kind of wood carving or defacement of any kind in this beautiful redwood forest is strictly prohibited by the city of Arcata. These sculptures, however, are accepted in the forest as sort of a legacy art from a past era and are also protected by the city of Arcata. And there is no wood sculpture whatsoever that could compare with the natural beauty found in this redwood forest.
Okay, Ray, I think I got enough.
Okay, so we'll meet you up at Zach's woodworking studio and maybe we'll learn some more. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey Zach, thank you so much for inviting us to your home studio. We're thrilled to be here. Jake went out and filmed a bunch of footage with his drone of the carvings up close, different angles, and we can't wait to show that to you so you can kind of weigh in and see what you think.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, well, before we get there, would you mind telling us a little bit about your artwork?
Well, right in front of me I have examples of things I do. You know, these are bowls I make out of redwood. Just found wood, you know, on the beach or whatever. The natural shape will dictate how it ends up looking, so.
Where is your work exhibited in Arcata mainly?
I'm a member at Arcata Artisans, so my work is there. It's a co-op. Almquist Lumber has some of my stuff there, but I have a permanent sculpture at Arcata Scoop, ice cream cone, yeah.
The giant ice cream cone in front of Scoops.
Yeah. I've seen little kids lick it, you know.
Okay. It would be better if we looked at Jake's drone footage inside. Is there somewhere inside we can go look at it?
Yeah, I think in my studio back here.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Yes. All right. All right, here we go. Okay, that's the bottom sculpture. You can see there in the bottom. So there's some close-ups of that.
Wow, okay. So yeah, that human face looks like that was chiseled. Yeah, where you can see the grain is kind of wild like that. We call that like burl redwood.
And we're moving up, and then you have the deer.
A lot of hand tools. You know, probably roughing it out, which is what I do with most of my sculptures. I'll have a chainsaw and get it roughly shaped, and then I'll come in with chisels or different tools like that.
That's a deer. Now we're moving up to the top, some kind of a bear cub.
Whoever did it was going for realism. Especially the bears are very stylized.
Looks almost like it's unfinished, or is it just really weathered?
Maybe their intention was to leave it like that, you know. So I think it looks kind of cool.
How long do you think this took?
Just the bear and the cub together could take 50 hours.
Could one artist do these different styles?
If I had to guess, I would say it was one artist, but who knows? Maybe it was a couple of artists working together. It's really hard to say.
Does it appear to you that they were planning to carve more?
I don't really see anything started and stopped. Oh, it's too bad all the deer ears are missing except one.
About 20 or 30 years ago, those ears went missing until recently when one was rediscovered. And that is what I'm going to explore in the next part of this story. Well, thanks to Jake taking the footage and you analyzing it, it sheds a little light on it for all of us. So thank you so much to both of you.
When I first moved here 2 decades ago, I remember walking by that and wondering what's going on with that. You know?
All right, well, I got to go explore the rest of this mystery. So thanks again for your time. I am back in the Arcata Community Forest, and as I was explaining to Zach, about 20 years ago or so, the wooden ears on the 2 deer sculptures went missing. That's 4 missing ears, and those 4 deer ears completely vanished, never to be seen again until the summer of 2018, when a man named Doug Renwick walked into the Arcata City Hall and announced that he had one of the missing deer ears. And that man, Doug Renwick, is right here up at the octopus tree. And he's agreed to meet me here to tell me the whole story. Doug?
Oh, hello.
Hey, Doug, thank you so much for meeting me here. Okay, how on earth did you find that missing deer ear?
I went to a garage sale one time, and I see this artifact there for sale, $3. Actually got them down to $2. And I said, that looks a lot like the missing ear on the deer on the sculptures here in Arcata Community Forest.
Do you have any idea of how it ended up at that garage sale?
It looked like it had been indoors for decades. So I didn't get the feeling like somebody had just recently discovered it. And that's why I thought that it had probably just been kicking around this house and nobody really knew it was.
Was it crack? Were there any cracks in it?
There is a crack in it, but I suspect that was there when it was on the deer itself, you know. It is pretty thick of wood, you know, so it's like a pretty good chunk of wood.
Could you tell if the ear was sawed off with a clean cut, or was it snapped?
It was broken.
It was snapped off. How could you tell?
Well, you can tell with saw mark.
Okay,
you know.
there was no saw mark.
No, there was no saw mark, okay. and you know, it is in a fairly exposed area. There's whole trees that get blown down up here, and so I suspect that it was just, it naturally had broken off. It was probably the most vulnerable part of the sculpture.
Okay, so what happened when you brought it into the Arcata City Hall?
I went up to the front counter and I said, I believe I have a piece of one of the sculptures that's out in the redwood forest, and I gave it to them. I posed for a photograph with it on my side of my head. They were quite happy to see it. I think the ear, it came from the forest and was left in the forest and has returned to the deer in the forest. So I think that's a happy thing.
All right, let's go take a walk and, you know,
all righty. Come on, Lala, you've been waiting for this.
Yeah, she's ready to go.
You're going to give me a hand?
This is the Arcata City Hall where Doug returned the ear in the summer of 2018. Now, I've learned that after he brought the ear here, it was given to a city employee to reattach the ear onto the original sculpture. And that city employee has agreed to meet with us up at the sculptures to tell his part of the story. Javier, thank you so much for coming out. Come here. Oh, it is such a pleasure to meet you. Fantastic.
Nice to see you.
Oh man, you are the guy who put the ear back on the deer. Tell me the story.
Yeah, I mean, my boss said, gave me this ear. He said it belonged to this sculpture. It had been broken and it had been lost for a long time. So my job was just to climb up to the sculpture and reattach the missing ear.
So you had to come up here and figure out which ear that goes on to.
That's right. I didn't know if it was the left or the right. There's a bigger deer and a smaller deer. So, but it was pretty apparent what size, what ear was the one that I needed to reattach.
Wow.
Because it was a perfect fit.
How did you do it?
And I just put a bunch of exterior glue, and then I got me some clamps and glue it together. I put a long screw through the ear into the head that you can barely see. It's on the back.
How did you feel when you reattached the ear to the deer? You're up there, you put the deer ear. And how did you feel when you did that?
It was actually a really fun, odd job, you know. Yes, we're really honored to have this sculpture here. I mean, it's been here for many decades. Whatever person made it probably was a professional, because it has a lot of detail and it has a lot of difficulty just because right where it's at, you know, this goes up 20 feet up there, so
yeah.
It must have taken a long time and a lot of effort.
Thank you so much for your time.
Anytime.
I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciated it.
Thanks for your work.
And thanks for all you do for the city of Arcata.
My pleasure.
Well, that's it for me today. I'm going to go take a little short walk here on Trail 1, and I'll show you some scenes along the way. But you know, I just hope today's story might just encourage you to get out there and experience the beauty and sometimes even the mystery that can be found in Humboldt outdoors.
The ear deer. Deer ear. Yeah. The deer ear that was missing from the deer. Yeah.
The deer ear.
The deer ear. Yeah. And she is a deer dog too. So we're really quite happy to have Lala the Chihuahua is her name.